Okay, so at what point, so you said that you were always kind of involved with the project. There was a point at which the project, because now it's matured in a totally different way. So what role did you play in the rewrite of Werewolf into Go?
Oh, 100% for the rewrite.
Okay.
Um, uh, so you asked about if there was like a hiatus, and I guess actually, I said I didn't step away from the project, but I definitely had other things going on that kind of leveraged a lot of my time. A container system called Singularity is something I wrote as well while I was at Berkeley Lab initially, and then took it out of Berkeley Lab as I became an entrepreneur. And but so. Also, Warewulf had some interruptions through the creation of Chaos Linux and even CentOS, because CentOS happened after that. The first version of Warewulf, again, Perl, and it did things in its own way back then. I learned a lot from Warewulf 1. Warewulf 2 was pretty much an entire re-implementation of Warewulf. It did things different, configuration files, syntax was different, everything was different, but it had the same like kind of major premise and how it worked. It's kind of its set up, how everything is configured, its ideology, etc. So everything was kind of the same from that perspective, but it was implemented very, very differently. So system administrators and whatnot, it didn't translate. Like where everybody using Warewulf 1, it was a kind of reinstall, reset up for Warewulf 2. Now, Warewulf 2 continued to increase in terms of popularity and got lots of feedback and lots of people who had a lot of opinions about how things should be done. Because the open source community has, we're not shy on opinions. There's a lot of them out there.
Well said. Very delicate.
So what we did was I asked around and I said, various sites and people that I know were either using Warewulf or interested in using Warewulf or interested in a provisioning system. And I asked and I talked to a lot of people. And I said, so if you wanted this provisioning system, if you wanted to use this, like how would you do your provisioning? Like would it be over HTTP? Would it be over a file system like Lustre? Would it be over like all these different sorts of ways? And what do you want your backend data store to look like? What do you want your configuration syntax to look like? And how do you want all this stuff to kind of work and fit together? This might be surprising. Everybody said something different.